I'm George Vrechek, and I'm a member of the old baseball card group. And Spike Glidden was so nice to give me this fancy, somewhat fuzzy sticker of Jefferson Burdick today. And I thought it was really great that there's some Jefferson Burdick fans out there. I've become a Burdick fan and admirer. Burdick died in 1963, born in 1900, and he was not only a collector, but a leader, organizer, and a very good writer. Going back and looking at the things he wrote, he did a really good job of succinctly summing up what was going on at the time, organizing it, getting other people enthused about the hobby.
And this is all sorts of collection of ephemera?
Paper ephemera from the United States. He was somewhat stuck in the past, like many of us, and he was interested in the tobacco cards of his youth, which was 1910, 1911. He apparently never attended a Major League Baseball game, or maybe any kind of baseball game, and he wasn't really a sport fan, but he was enthusiastic about everything. He was enthusiastic about collecting, about the photos, the images on cards. So this picture brings a lot of good memories back of Burdick. And
can I see the picture a little closer up?
Yeah. Just this photo, for example, was taken from the 1952 the Card Collector's Bulletin that Jefferson Burdick published. Although by that time he'd given it over to Charles Braid, who published. Burdick was the principal writer for the Card Collector's Bulletin, which he started in 1936 after a series of articles in Hobbies magazine. And Card Collector's Bulletin got right to the point, which was about 6 or 8 pages worth of what was going on in collecting. There wasn't a lot of splashy images. In fact, this was the only photo that I ever saw in Card Collector's Bulletin on all the copies. I looked at every issue, which was bi-monthly, basically from about 1939 on.
And the issues would normally talk about the things that were being exchanged between the advanced collectors, new issues that were learned about, or
it was new findings in the hobby, new sets that had been uncovered, clarifications of what had been previously described, and information about the growth of the hobby and what people were doing. It eventually evolved into even, God forbid, a few ads in the bulletin, but it started out with just about collecting, kind of morphed into here's how we could add to the collection. So this was the only photo that appeared in there. It wasn't until 1952 that Burdick, Woody Gelman, Charles Bray, and Gene DiNardo appear in this photo that was put in the Card Collector's Bulletin. I did a series of stories on Jefferson Burdick, and as part of that, we'd like to get some images, so I thought I was going to try to find some images of Burdick, and I found that there are very few images of Burdick. There's this one. There's a photo that I received from his great niece of Burdick as a teenager, and there's a photo that was taken out of the Syracuse newspaper in the 50s when they did a story on Burdick, showing him in a somewhat restricted arthritic condition, which was his problem in the later 50s. And he died in '63, really from this crippling rheumatoid arthritis. So I've been an admirer of Burdick, and I'll try to find additional information about Burdick's life, and there's got to be some more photos out there, and that'll be my want list. Let's see if we can find a few more Jefferson Burdick pictures.
And now the picture that you said was manipulated, they just pulled one guy out of a group, and you said they also used that same image to make a card of Burdick?
Yeah, in fact, I was contacted by whoever the people were that produced this recent card, which was described as OBAC, and included some collectors. I think Burdick was one of them, and they got the picture for me, and then they airbrushed Woody Gelman's shoulder out of the front of Burdick to make it a regular photo. And they're all lined up together in their suits on like a Sunday afternoon, and suit and tie, and it's a little different era. fairly stiff and formal, with just a slight smile on their faces of the four characters that worked on the 1953 American card catalog.
So would the best one to find be something of him working directly with his collection, or the other people that he knew?
That would be neat. And I do stories for hobby history, and I try to get. If someone asked what kind of photo would you like, I said, it'd be great if we had a photo of a group like we have, where people are all gathered together, they're looking at cards, and shows what they were up to. It's virtually impossible to find any photos like that because nobody wanted to publicize what they were up to, probably, and nobody had a camera along, so you won't find too many photos of collectors sitting around swapping cards.
Sure.
First one I have is from about 1969 that Bob Thing gave me, of 10 collectors meeting in somebody's living room, and everyone was sitting there with their boxes of cards and White Sox, and it was a pretty collector group.
And now here we are at the National.
National Convention in Chicago. It's the 32nd.
Amazing.
Just keeps going. Plenty of cards to buy, money to spend.
All right, excellent. Thanks a lot, George.
Okay.